So, by the looks of it, the pattern questions weren't so bad. Just about everyone got them. There was just a few mistakes that I found. So, for example, number one, when you're trying to find the pattern for the nth, term or nth figure, the number that you should have multiplied with n is the number of dots you add each time. So each picture you're adding 3 dots, so it should be 3 times n, and then
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
That's what I got.
Yeah!
I'm right.
So you had all of
I
them
somehow
switched.
guessed.
I thought it's like plus the 0.
The 2 that you add would be, the example I used, or analogy I used, was figure 0. So if you look at it, right, we're adding 3 each time. So if I went to a figure 0 before that, I would take away 3, which means I started with 2 dots. So those 2 dots are what you add. So it's like, yeah.
I'm right.
I just
I somehow I didn't even know that, but I got it.
I just multiplied it. What is that?
Otherwise, that went fine. If you had the wrong formula, but used that to solve the other questions, then I didn't take marks for having those other questions wrong, because you used a formula that you had, and you used it correctly, so it was just a matter of, you had the wrong formula. So I only took off 1 mark for having the wrong formula, that's all. Otherwise, that one and number 2 went fine. So the formula, I guess this is number 1, so the formula for number 2 would be, we're adding
3n plus 1.
Yeah, we're adding 3 each time. So 3n plus 1.
Better than I expected.
I guess I should probably use the one with the answers on it.
Exactly the same thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, for the next one, on the other side of the page, again, it went well. The next number was 23. The 10th number is 43. So I'll just call this, 1b, since the second number 1 would have been 4n plus 3. Okay? Now, the fun one. Okay. So, if you remember when we talked about this before, I mentioned the idea of combining all of the things I talked about, combining intersections, complements, things like that. This is really a good example of that. So, we'll make ourselves a rectangle here, okay? And I will draw the circles, because last time I tried to make circles, it was a horrible, horrible looking circle. So this is B, this is A, here's our universal set. So the information we're given is the number in the universal set is 21. The number in A union B is 19. Number in A intersect with B complement is 8. And the number in A is equal to 12. So these numbers refer to the entire set of those things. So for example, where A is equal to 12, that refers to all of A, including what is not the same in B and what is the same in B. So for example, these 2 numbers here would have to add up to 12.
So like 4 and 8.
So 4 and 8 is actually correct. But I'll tell you how you get that.
I know
Okay.
how to do that.
I see.
So the first thing we can actually start with is the easiest one is finding out the number on the outside.
That's 2.
Because this number would be 2. Because the universal set is 21 numbers. So there are 21 numbers in this entire thing.
Oh no!
But A union B is everything inside of here. So if A union B is 19, that means there's only 2 numbers that are outside of A and B. So that's why this here would be 2. Okay, so that one's the easiest one to find first. The next one you can find is this one here. Because of this. Now, if this was A intersect with B, that would be this number here, right? All the things that are common with A and B. but this here is the complement of B. So if this is everything in B, the complement of B would be everything on the outside of it. Right? Because the complement is everything in the universal set that is not in B. So if you take everything on the outside of this and intersect it with A, this part would be what's common between the two of them. So A intersect B complement is this.
Okay, I got it out.
Does that make sense?
No.
Isn't it easier if you just like...
You're the only one that doesn't get it. So, where did I lose you? Yes, but I mean, do you understand what the B complement is, though?
Yeah, everything not.
Right, which would be everything here and everything in the universal set. So if I'm intersecting A with the complement of B, which are these two, the things that are common, that are the same, is all of A here. Because the complement of B does not include this part. So if this is 8, this has to be 8 here. Because this is in the complement of B. But this is not in A. So this whole thing here would be common between the two.
Isn't it easier
Right?
to just find the middle?
No.
Because if you find the middle and then you...
But the
know
thing
that
is
has to
you
be-
can't find the middle.
Well, what I did was I just divided A by 2 because there's 2 sides and got 4.
Yeah, but that is wrong.
I got 4 and that's...
But that won't work every time. You can't find the middle without doing this first. Because now that I know that this part here is 8, right? If all of A is 12, then I know this is 4. And then I have these 3 numbers, so that's 10, 14, so this has to be 7.
8.
Well,
I'm still
12
kind of
minus 8.
confused with the...
I see
Can you-
numbers.
Can you create
Oh,
something with different numbers, but like the same thing but with different numbers?
But different numbers here. Oh, I mean, can I do that? Oh, sure.
So we can see if we can. Yeah.
I can do my best to figure out one that works. So let's try something else here. I'm going to turn this off for a second.
well, I did better than I expected.